Have you ever faced a frustrating 404 error while working on your Angular application? It can be incredibly annoying, especially when you know the data exists. If that's you, stick around because today we're diving into a common issue with Angular 4 and how to resolve it. I completely understand your frustration. You have a working data service, but when you try to fetch data, you get a 404 error. You're not alone in this. Many developers encounter similar issues when working with APIs. Let's take a closer look at your specific situation. You mentioned that your Angular 4 app is trying to fetch data from a Firebase URL, but it returns a 404 error. You can access the URL directly in your browser, so what could be going wrong? Let's explore this together. So what might be causing this 404 error? It could be due to several reasons, such as incorrect URL formatting, issues with the HTTP request, or even problems with the data structure in Firebase. We'll break down these possibilities step by step. And don't go anywhere. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to troubleshoot this issue and get your data fetching smoothly again. To address the 404 error the user is encountering, the first step is to verify the URL being used in the fetch data function. The user should ensure that the URL is correct and accessible. Next, the user should check the Angular HTTP request method. Since the user is using Angular 4, it's important to ensure that the HTTP module is imported correctly in the app module. The user should also consider switching from the deprecated HTTP module to HTTP client for better error handling and improved functionality. This requires updating the import statement and the service code. After making these changes, the user should test the fetch data function again. They can do this by logging the output to the console to see if the data is retrieved successfully. Finally, if the issue persists, the user should check for any CORS issues or network restrictions that might be affecting the request. This can be done by inspecting the Network tab in the browser's developer tools. Fun fact, did you know that the first web page ever created is still online? It was published by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991. Just like that page, we all want our applications to be accessible and functional. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution suggests importing the toPromise operator from RxJS. This user recommends adding toPromise to the end of the HTTP GET request in the fetch data function. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests modifying your app module. They recommend importing the HTTP client in memory web API module and configuring it to pass through unknown URLs. This way, your application won't mistakenly look for the public API in the in-memory web API. Here's a pro tip. Always log your HTTP requests and responses. This practice can help you quickly identify where things are going wrong in your application. And there you have it. With these troubleshooting steps, you should be able to resolve the 404 error in your Angular 4 application. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on web development.